There are rivalries in Formula One that are loud, explosive, impossible to hide. And then there are rivalries like this one, quiet, polite, smiling for the cameras while slowly tearing a team apart from the inside. This is the story of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Two drivers, one team, one red car, and a Ferrari garage that for years lived on the edge of emotional collapse. When Carlos Sainz arrived at Ferrari, the narrative was simple, almost comforting. Charles Leclerc was the future, the prodigy, the chosen one. Sainz was the solid addition, fast, intelligent, adaptable, a team player. At least that's how it was supposed to be. But Formula One has a habit of destroying expectations. From the very first races together, something felt different. Sainz adapted faster than anyone predicted. He learned the car, learned the engineers, learned how Ferrari worked, not just technically, but politically. And quietly, he started matching Leclerc. Lap times overlapped, race pace aligned, points added up. Inside the garage, engineers began noticing patterns that made them uncomfortable. Different driving styles, different feedback, different approaches to risk. Leclerc was raw speed, aggressive, emotional, capable of brilliance and heartbreak within the same lap. Sainz was calculation, precision, a driver who rarely overreached, who built results piece by piece. Ferrari suddenly had a problem, because when two drivers deliver similar performance, the team must choose, even if it pretends not to. Publicly, Ferrari insisted on equality. Internally, the tension grew race by race. Strategic calls began to define the rivalry. One driver favored aggressive undercuts, the other preferred flexibility. One wanted to push flat out, the other wanted control. And every time strategy went wrong, and at Ferrari it often did, the blame became personal. Radio messages turned sharper, debriefs grew colder, silences lasted longer. And then came the moments the cameras did catch, team orders that felt delayed, pit wall hesitations that cost positions, races where one driver benefited while the other paid the price. Fans noticed, the Paddock noticed, and both drivers noticed most of all. Leclerc felt the pressure of being Ferrari's hope, the weight of history, the comparisons to legends. Every mistake amplified, every missed opportunity dissected. Sainz felt something different, the need to prove he belonged, that he wasn't a temporary solution, that he wasn't there to support someone else's championship. And slowly the relationship changed. They were still professional, still respectful, still smiling in press conferences. But behind the scenes, the rivalry hardened. Engineers were careful with words. Data meetings became guarded. Information flowed, but never completely freely. Because in Formula One, knowledge is power. The breaking point didn't come from a single crash or argument. It came from accumulation.
A season where Ferrari failed to deliver a title-worthy car, a season of strategic disasters, a season where both drivers believed deeply that with slightly better decisions, they could have led the team. And when a team struggles, unity is the first casualty. By the time contract discussions entered the conversation, the writing was already on the wall. Ferrari couldn't build around two leaders forever. History had taught them that lesson many times before. One driver was younger, one was more adaptable, one represented long-term identity, the other immediate reliability. Choosing meant risk, and risk defines Ferrari. When the decision finally became clear, it wasn't announced with drama. There were no explosions, no public fallout, just quiet meetings, carefully chosen words, statements about new challenges and mutual respect. But make no mistake, this rivalry left scars, because Leclerc versus Sainz was never about hatred. It was about survival inside the most demanding team in motorsport. Two drivers pushed to their limits, two egos forced to coexist, one red car that could never truly belong to both. And that's the cruel reality of Ferrari. In Maranello, talent is not enough. Speed is not enough. Even results are not enough. You must be the chosen one. And when ego meets speed, Ferrari always makes a choice.